Hey, today in this nuts and bolts video, we're going to talk about how to create your math of sales. And I know there's been a lot of talk about the math of sales, and maybe I'll write a blog post about it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do here when we're looking at putting together a program. And obviously, everything starts with a spreadsheet here. So basically, there's a number of things that we have going on here that are important for us to understand. And let's just quickly walk through what those things are. So the first thing is that understanding what the average sale value is important, what the average sales cycle is, what our total suspects are. These are all the assumptions as to what we expect to happen during an actual sales development program. Approximately how many people expect to connect with of the total prospect pipeline pool. How many expect to be bad numbers? How many of the people that we actually speak to do we intend to actually book a meeting with? And of those that are held, those that turn into a pipeline deal, and those that are closed. So essentially, and then the other thing is what methodology we're going to be using, a 2-step or a 3-step or a 4-step sales cycle process to understand how long it will take. And this is the summary of the total values that would happen. So over the span of a 3-month sales cycle, we would expect, based on some general assumptions up here, and the amount of prospects that we input, what our actual output would be in terms of booked meetings and held meetings converted to pipeline and converted to deal ratio. That's where we get these summary numbers up here, 53 and 40. 53 booked meetings, 40 held, 20 converted to pipeline, and 4 would actually be converting into a deal during the period of the 90 days here. So that means a lot of the deals that would be front-ended here, there's the ones that would happen at the beginning. Now to break it down even more granularly, we go to a monthly analysis, okay, where we take a look at how many leads are we adding into the lead pool, new and old, and recycling, because as you know from a previous video, our cadences are going through the same number of prospects each and every day or each and every week. And we're adding new ones into the mix. And you can see, depending on the cycle, how many we're adding, how many we're taking away in terms of new leads. And then what that means in terms of total lead flow. Okay. And showing us where we would be in terms of the description of where we're at in terms of the number of leads by stage. So we have basically 5 stages here. Priming, when we're really starting. Accelerating is when we're doing much more. Steady is when we're just putting the same number of leads in every month. Taper is when we're reducing it, and zero off is when we have 0. On a daily basis, it looks much more intense. We can see that we add leads every day, and into the new field, and we're recycling the old field. And depending on what's going on here, determines how many get to go back into the old field. And again, we can see that priming, acceleration, steady, taper, off. It all results into what we call the pipeline build. Now, a lot of these are assumptions, but they're based on well-founded understanding. So for example, this is very conservative, a 10% contact ratio. We believe in a certain cadence, we can get to a 20% contact ratio and dramatically impact the value of the number of booked meetings that we can have during that period of time. If our booking rate can be better, let's say 35%, things start to get even more interesting. And if you just go back and we say the average sales value is, let's say, $10,000, initial sale value is $10,000, gives you an idea about how much money we can actually make for our prospects based on the assumptions and ratios we have from there. So that's it. That's the math of sales development, or how we go about doing it. And this is something that we do with every one of our prospects when we take a look at it to see how long we actually need to run out for our circumstances. And we apply our considerable numbers in terms of what our assumptions actually are. Love to hear your comments and thoughts about how your math of sales is different from what we're doing and how you go about putting that together.